Hey sis, welcome to the Dope Black Chick podcast where we affirm, empower, and hold space for Black women over 40 who are navigating healing, reinvention, and the soft life we deserve. I'm your host, Kimberly Spidle, and every week we have real, soulful conversations about faith, femininity, purpose, and the journey of becoming on our terms. Now, today's episode, it's sacred. More and more of us are feeling a pull, a quiet one, but strong. It's a pull back to the spiritual, not religion as we were taught it, but spirit as we feel it. It's in the way we light candles without even thinking about it. The gospel songs that hit our gut, the power of grandma's prayers, right? And this week, I'm sharing how I've been rebuilding my own sacred rituals, from curating a Bible study using ChatGPT to conversations with my family about hoodoo, ancestry, and what it means to reclaim spiritual practices that were always ours. And yes, we're going to be talking about the movie Sinners because, oh boy, that film cracked open something that I think many of us feel but don't always know how to name. So if you've been wondering how to blend faith and freedom, if you're curious about rituals or just craving spiritual rhythm in your life, this one is for you. Grab your journal, light your candle. Let's talk about the sacredness of returning home to yourself, to your roots, and to the spirit that's been waiting on you. My spiritual routine these days, my mornings don't begin with a scroll or a to-do list. I actually begin it with stillness. First, I thank God for breathing me into today. I speak a statement that aligns me with what I call kingdom consciousness. It's a practice I crafted to center me in the truth that source is all and is all that I need. It's a declaration, really. It's a reminder to my spirit that I don't have to chase. I don't have to strive. I don't have to prove. I'm already aligned with divine order. And then after that, I meditate. I sit in silence, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10, and I open myself to receive. If there's a prayer that's pressing, I speak that because, prayers are your conversation to God, like you giving your laundry list, right? But the meditation is the time for you to allow God to speak or to answer all those questions. So mostly I let God speak to me. And that's what my sacred rhythm looks like right now. It's quiet. It's simple. But you know what? It's mine. Okay? I didn't just stumble into this ritual now. I crafted it after I was listening to a sermon by Reverend Ike. He was talking about the power of kingdom consciousness. And when I tell you guys that sermon, I got to find it and link it in the show notes. But that sermon hit me like truth. I already knew, but like I had forgotten it somehow. He said, in the kingdom of God, there is no lack, only abundance. No illness, only health. No negativity, only goodness. And when you live in that kingdom consciousness, you walk through your day knowing that everything you need is already available to you. And all you have to do is align with it. So after hearing this, I tried it, just for one day. I walked through the world as if I was living in the kingdom. I was not going to get bogged down in the Trumpism. That wasn't my president. I'm under the rule of God, right? So I wasn't hoping, I wasn't striving, just receiving. And let me tell you guys, that day was so peaceful, so abundant, so right. I didn't want to stop. And that's when I knew it. This was more than a mindset. It was a ritual, a rhythm, a way that I wanted to live. And I've been holding on to that ever since. And I promise you, it has been amazing for me. Now, here's something I know might surprise some folks. I actually use ChatGPT to help me study the Bible. And listen, y'all, it's been life-changing. Not because I needed help believing in God, but because I wanted to understand how is God showing up in my life in this season with these emotions in this version of me. I told ChatGPT what I was going through emotionally, mentally, spiritually, even professionally. I poured everything, poured it all in. And I do that. And I asked it, I said, Chat, show me how the Bible relates to those things that I am struggling with in real time. And what it gave back to me was a study flow that didn't sound like churchy cliche or outdated theology. It sounded like me. For the first time, the word didn't feel like a history book. It didn't sound like stories about people who lived thousands of years ago and had nothing in common with my life. It sounded like right now, like the anxiety I'm managing, like the clarity I've been praying for, like the woman I'm becoming. So much so, I wrote a whole blog post about this because I knew I just could not keep it to myself. If you're curious about how to create your own spirit-led, lifestyle-aligned Bible study, I dropped the exact prompts I use. It's on the blog post at IHearThatGirl.com. You can grab the link in the show notes of this podcast and start curating a study that fits you. Now, being from South Carolina, guys, root work isn't some myth or folktale. It's real to me. It's part of our family history. It's part of our lineage. We've had conversations about it over the years, but often we glossed over the depth of it or focused on what we were taught were the negative parts of it. But after watching the movie Sinners with my mom and my sisters, when we got home, my parents opened up in a whole new way. They started sharing stories about spirits, protection, rituals their parents and their grandparents used. And then suddenly, all the normal things they did made sense. And I'm saying normal with air quotes. They were covered, y'all. We were covered. Our ancestors were active, and we were never meant to forget. What I've come to learn is that my family on both sides were seers. They could feel spirit, sense direction, hear things without words. And now, knowing that's in my bloodline, it's changed how I move. I trust myself a little bit more. I don't question my gut. I recognize it as guidance. Speaking to my ancestors was something I once feared, but now I know better. They're not dead. They're present, still covering, still guiding, still empowering me. How could I possibly be afraid now? Right? Knowing this, how can you be afraid? And that's what this reconnection has done. It has made me bold. It's made me confident. It's made me sure. If there's one thing that I would tell any woman who wants to reconnect spiritually, but just doesn't know where to begin, it's this. Listen to me closely. Start within. Start within. Know this. God is already within you. Not beside you, not above you, or below you. In you, as you, through you. That is where your power starts. You don't have to mimic someone else's ritual. Even though I'm sharing it with you, it doesn't have to be the end all be all for you. You don't need a 10-step devotional plan. But what you do need, you just need to pause. You need to breathe and acknowledge that you are the living altar. You are already a living altar. From there, you can build. And if you need help starting, head on over to the blog. And I've shared the exact prompts I use to create my own rhythm of study and stillness. And the thing I love about those prompts is that it will curate it based on what you have been talking to ChatGPT about. So it's going to be yours. And it's all there waiting for you, because so is spirit. If this episode starts something in you guys, please share it today with your sister circle, with your mama, with your inner child, and take 5 minutes today to ask yourself, what does sacred look like for me right now? Then do just that. Not because you have to, but because you deserve to walk in wholeness and in your own rhythm. I thank you guys for being here. I'll see you next week. I apologize that there's no video this week, but I love you guys. Peace and blessings.